Today we will begin a sequential series of videos about conceptual analysis, and it's enlightening and very, very educating. And one of the principal desires is to help everyone get really, really smart. Wake up. Break the spell. So let's begin with one of the most important concepts that's happening all over the world today. And people should understand what's it about. It's called proxy wars. Proxy wars. Proxism. It's not something recent. And it's incredible. But it begins in the Battle of 10 Kings, 6,000 before the contemporary era in the north of India. 10 Indo-European tribes get together against one of the Indo-European tribes called the Bharatas, which has become the name for India, the Bharat, because they actually won the war and the 10 tribes were expelled from India and migrated out. So the proxy war was all of these 10 tribes got together and tried to topple one tribe which was becoming powerful. Why was this tribe Bharata becoming powerful? It was from the east of India, and we will show everyone, okay? The east of India, a lot of people. Today it's Bengal, Bangladesh, Burma, Thailand, Orissa, a lot of people. So these people were expanding, a lot of rain, a lot of prosperity. And the 10 Indo-European tribes who lived in what today is Afghanistan, Pakistan, Iran, Rajasthan, the west of India, were suffering drought, the loss of rains, water, agriculture, and started fighting amongst themselves. And the Bharatas started to expand and get stronger. These tribes, these Indo-European tribes that lived in the west of India, they have maintained after thousands and thousands and thousands of years almost the same names of the people today. The Druhus are the Druids, they went to Central Europe. The Alenos are the Hellenic people that went to Asia Minor. The Dasus, the Thracians, came to the northern part of Greece. The Parsus became the Persians, they moved to Iran. The Pakhtas became the Pakhtun of Afghanistan and Pakistan. The Parthia became the Parthians of the north of Iran. There is even mention of Chinus who migrated east when the Bharatas expanded and become the Chinese, the ancestors of the Chinese. There is mention of Romanus who migrated through the coast and went to the Mediterranean. And there is mention of Medes, the people who conquered an empire in the Middle East. And we include the Mitanni and the Hittites, Hattis. Mitanni they have the same name. So all these tribes were here. Why were there so many tribes? Because there was a lot of prosperity, a lot of rain, a lot of water. This region, around 7,000 years before contemporary era, this region was forest. A lot of people. The north of Africa, green, Middle East, green. But suddenly, over 200 years, the rains failed. No more rain, no more water. The rivers dried. The great Saraswati, Indus Valley, they dried. The people started fighting and became more and more warlike. And as they saw that the Bharata tribe of Indo-Europeans in Bengal kept growing because the rains there didn't fail. They had monsoons. So they got together and started attacking the Bharata tribe. This is the first story of proxy wars. However, they were not successful. They lost. And basically, they had to leave. And the Bharatas expanded and conquered the rest of India. Some of the descendants of these tribes are still there. The Pakhtas are in Afghanistan. The Parsus are the Persians. So some of them were expelled not so far away. Others went to the Middle East. Others went to Eastern Europe. And the Turushkas, the Turvashus, went to the north and became the Turkomanos, Tartars. There is a lot of evidence that India was the center of the world, was the mother of all civilizations, that 10,000 years ago, their civilization expanded all over the globe. People looking like Indians are everywhere, from Peru, from Easter Island, from Southeast Asia, from the Indonesian peninsulas and islands. So it's quite possible that these people expanded. A part of them running away from the desertification, and another part, too many people, overflow of population. And people don't seem to understand. The story of India is still the same. There are Indians everywhere. The gypsies are Indian people who around the 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th century escaped India from the Turkic invasions. They went to Persia, to Eastern Europe, to Egypt. That's why they're called the gypsies, because they migrated to Egypt and then they entered Europe, and the Pope gave them permission to keep moving. They couldn't stay in Europe, so they had to keep moving, and they ended up in Spain. Today we can see Indians all over the world, legally, illegally, working in the Gulf, all over Africa, in many, many European countries. In England, lots of cities are basically 50% Indian. In the United States, at the top level, doctors and scientists are Indians. So the question is, how did they become so smart? How did they become so successful? It's called survival of the fittest. And in the next video, we're going to talk about that.